After a hiatus of over 1.5 years due to the COVID pandemic, Delhi schools for all classes have reopened today. Schools are functioning on a 50% capacity with proper COVID safety measures. Thermal screening, staggered lunch breaks or alternate seating arrangements have been made mandatory. Restrictions on students, teachers and non-teaching staff living in COVID containment zones will remain in place. These guidelines also say that no students will be forced to attend physical classes and they need parents' consent to attend. Many schools so far in Delhi have chosen to defer the reopening to post-festive week. Classes from 9 to 12 have already been functioning in the national capital since September.
बच्चे सुरक्षित महसूस कर रहे हैं और खुश महसूस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि लगभग 1.5 साल से ज़्यादा हो गया इनको। इसमें से बहुत सारे बच्चे तो ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने अभी हम जिस क्लास में खड़े हैं ये 7वीं क्लास है, तो इनकी 6ठी क्लास पूरी ऑनलाइन गई है। इन्होंने स्कूल की शक्ल नहीं देखी थी और 5वीं क्लास में ये एमसीडी के स्कूल में पढ़ते थे। तो बहुत सारे बच्चे तो ऐसे हैं जो आज पहले दिन स्कूल आए हैं ना, ये स्कूल में पहली बार आए हैं। पेरेंट्स भी अब रिलीफ महसूस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बहुत नुकसान हुआ है पढ़ाई का, तो वो नुकसान अब धीरे धीरे रिकवर होगा।
करीब 1.5 साल बाद स्कूल खुले हैं ना?
हाँ।
कैसा लग रहा है इतने साल बाद स्कूल आ गया?
मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है।
आपने मिस किया स्कूल को इतने दिन?
हाँ।
अब क्या कुछ करोगे आज स्कूल में?
आज स्कूल में पहले तो पूरे स्कूल को देखूंगी अच्छे से। मैं कोरोना टाइम में पहली बार स्कूल आई हूँ ना, इसके लिए मैम ने कहा है मास्क पहने रहना, टाइम टू टाइम सैनिटाइज करते रहना है।
बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान हो चुके थे घर पे, बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड है। कल से ही एक्साइटेड थे कि मम्मी मुझे स्कूल जाना है। हाँ जी।
खुद को भी ऑनलाइन क्लास में शामिल होना पड़ता था?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। लेकिन ये ज़्यादा अच्छा है कि बच्चे कुछ पढ़े आगे, मैम के सामने मतलब बहुत सारी जानकारियाँ मिले।
बहुत ज़्यादा वेट कर रहे थे हम कि कब बच्चे आए, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन हमारा इंटरेक्शन नहीं हो पा रहा था इतना। हम कोशिश कर रहे थे लेकिन छोटे बच्चे हैं वो नहीं कर पाते हैं। लेकिन अब बच्चे भी मतलब बार बार हमसे डेली पूछते थे मैम कब आना है कब आना है, तो बच्चे भी एक्साइटेड है और हम भी एक्साइटेड है।
इस वक्त हम लोग राव रेवेन्यू इलाके के एक दिल्ली सरकार की स्कूल के अंदर मौजूद हैं। हम आपको दिखाते हैं कि 1.5 साल के इंतजार के बाद ये बच्चे स्कूल पहुंचे हैं। 4थी क्लास के इस वक्त हम लोग मौजूद हैं जहां पे 4थी क्लास के बच्चे हैं और ये देखिए सामने सैनिटाइजर रखा हुआ है। एक डेस्क पे सिर्फ एक बच्चा बैठा है, जहां पर 2 या 3 बच्चे बैठते थे सिर्फ एक बच्चा बैठा हुआ है। पूरे जो तमाम जो कोविड के नियम हैं उनके पालन किए जा रहे हैं। स्कूल के अंदर एक आइसोलेशन रूम बनाया गया है। बच्चों के बीच में एक देखिए एक डेस्क खाली भी छोड़ा गया है। तो जो तमाम जो नियम थे, जो रेगुलेशंस थे, पूरी तरीके से उनका यहाँ पर पालन करते हुए दिख रहा है। स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, सब्यसाची जी, हम उनसे बात करते हैं। सर, जो नियम है जो बच्चों को लेकर के, तो वो पूरी तरीके से पालन हो रहे हैं? बच्चे भी कोऑपरेट कर रहे हैं?
हाँ बिल्कुल,
छोटे बच्चे?
हाँ नहीं, बिल्कुल बच्चे कोऑपरेट कर रहे हैं और इसका एक कारण ये है कि हमारे जो भी टीचर्स हैं उन्होंने पहले ही मैसेज कन्वे कर दिया है कि वो बिना मास्क के नहीं आए और प्रॉपर डिस्टेंसिंग का पालन करेंगे, अपनी बोतल साथ में लेके आएंगे।
एक दिन ये स्कूल आएंगे और अगले दिन इन्हें ऑनलाइन क्लास करनी होगी और जो बच्चे आज जो 50% बच्चे हैं जो आज घर पे हैं वो कल स्कूल आएंगे और वो आज ऑनलाइन स्कूल यहाँ से वो अपनी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। कैमरामैन रविकांत तोतावर के साथ हिमांशु मिश्रा, दिल्ली आज तक।
With Diwali just days away, markets across India are seeing a sharp uptick in crowds. Thousands of people have been seen shopping for the festival of Diwali, and COVID norms have gone for a toss in these places. The crowding in markets across India is leading to fears of another COVID wave in the country. It shows again how Indians, as you can see on your screens, they are failing to adhere to COVID safety protocols and also endangering millions of lives. They not only put their own lives in peril, often prove to be potential super spreaders as well. Anticipating, meanwhile, that there could be a spike in COVID cases during the festive period, Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul said that the central government is ramping up health infrastructure to manage up to 4 lakh cases.
Preparedness will be of a safe level, cushion level, lot of headroom. और जब हम उस फिगर को लेकर चलते हैं, जैसे आपने मीडिया में भी सुना, हम 4.5 to 5 लाख पर डे सर्ज की तैयारी को लेके चलते हैं. It does not mean that we are saying that will happen or should happen or can happen or may happen. No. The preparedness is pitched to be ready to face a daily surge of 4.5 to 5 lakh cases per day.
It's the last Sunday before the Diwali week sets in. What you see behind me is the crazy rush that the national capital is right now experiencing. This is one of Delhi's prominent markets, Sarojini Nagar, where you can see that people have flocked in large numbers, clearly forgetting the COVID protocols and letting their guards down. Now, it's the upcoming week which sees the festive season, and clearly that's one of the prominent reasons why people in the national capitals are flocking these markets. This is Sarojini Nagar. However, the picture is very similar in almost all the other major markets here in the national capital, all the more because it's the last Sunday. This is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
Meanwhile, an event to boost tourism in Telangana threatens to turn into a super spreader. Massive crowds which thronged the Telangana government's Ek Sham Charminar Ke Naam event at the iconic Hyderabad monument can be seen violating all COVID protocol. Not many in the crowd can be seen adhering social distancing norms during the festive season. Many of them are also wandering without wearing any masks. The Sunday Fun Day event, as it was called, was first held on October 17th, and it seems to be getting bigger with every passing week. The event has been a huge hit with a plethora of activities, including a band performance, music night with Sufi and Ghazal artists. This comes at a time when health experts are warning people of a possible third wave in the country. Telangana, as far as the COVID fight is concerned, has reported a total of 121 new COVID cases and 1 death on Sunday. Hyderabad remains the most affected city. Here's why we simply cannot afford to let our guard down right now. This festive season, there's still a COVID shadow that we have to keep in mind because of a new variant of COVID, the Delta AY 4.2. It's a new mutation of the virus that's been identified by scientists. It's more transmissible, and that's worrying, than the original strain of the virus. There are fears of a fresh wave due to this variant, and there have been cases of AY 4.2 that have been reported and detected in India as well. And with it being more transmissible, there's a worry that the cases will go out of control. And it's not just in India, it's several other countries too. This variant has been detected. It's been detected in over 40 countries so far. Over 26,000 cases globally have been reported of this particular variant. And if you really look at the kind of data that's emerged, a majority of these cases are in Russia, in China and England. And in all three countries, cases of COVID have gone up at an alarming rate. Melting glaciers, rising sea levels, freaky weather and wildfires. The global warming threat. Mankind's biggest challenge. All eyes on the Glasgow Climate Summit. Modi and world leaders brainstorm, and India Today tracks every move.
In COP26, a very, very important meet, a very, very important issue for Prime Minister, where he will be the leading voice of a lot of the developing nations.
Mother Earth's last stand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to attend the United Nations Climate Change Conference, that's the COP26 in Glasgow. He arrived in Glasgow at 2:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time to attend the summit, which will be attended by heads of governments of more than 120 countries. And that was a welcome the Prime Minister received when he touched down in Glasgow. World leaders will be sitting down to discuss global warming and the 21st century's biggest challenge for mankind. That's, of course, climate change. COP26 summit's agenda is to reduce the consumption of global coal resources, limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, curb increase of greenhouse gases and also end subsidies on fossil fuels. Ahead of the climate change conference, Prime Minister Modi also held bilateral meets with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, with the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, and the Indonesian President Joko Widodo in Rome. This was on the sidelines of the G20 summit.
India is leading the voice of the developing nations to talk about the various aspects of technology sharing and also discussing that the 100 billion that was promised by the developed nations should be actually now handed out properly. The deadline has already passed, and apart from a lot of these matters, there is some excitement, an exciting announcement coming. We haven't been told about that, but of course with Boris Johnson, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, they will be discussing the Solar Alliance, which they have been talking about and they are founding members of as well. After the national statement, there is a visit to a museum here in Glasgow, which is possibly a museum that a lot of people go to, and a lot of exhibition on climate change is being held there as well. The day will end with a lot of catching up and discussion on the day that has gone by, because there are bilateral meetings that are going to be happening on November 2nd as well. So a very action-packed day for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who already did 3 bilateral meetings in G20 with Angela Merkel, who introduced her successor to him, the Prime Minister of Italy, and also the President of Indonesia. And now in COP26, a very, very important meet, a very, very important issue for Prime Minister, where he will be the leading voice of a lot of the developing nations. Lavina Tandon for India Today from Glasgow, Scotland. What is it, the one thing that you will ask the leaders of the climate change of COP26? You can look into the camera and tell them.
I think first of all to say that, Britain now is changing quite a lot. 4 out of 10 are aware of the climate change impact. Young people are not screaming, they're actually asking for change. Indeed, they brought out change in 2019 when this country declared climate emergency, no more climate impact. The messages are very clear. Act now, make plans properly, be accountable, and we want things to happen for the world. But they also now realize that climate change is impacting some people more than them.
Climate change is one of the greatest threats modern humans are facing. Floods, wildfires, cold and heat waves, all of that's on the rise. It's across the world. World leaders hence are meeting in Glasgow for the COP26 summit to ramp up climate ambition. Nabila Jamal explains in our next report all that you need to know about climate change and this climate summit.
Flash floods in Germany, tropical cyclones, forest fires in Western Australia and California, heat waves in North America, and a lot more closer to us. The intense rainfall and landslides in India, images that would scare us all, and it should. Because what we witnessed in 2021 has been a manifold rise in adverse climate change events. So what has really triggered this climate change, and what do we need to do to prevent more of this? Enter the United Nations Climate Change Committee, or what it's famously called COP. The 26th edition this year holds massive significance, with global leaders set to make significant legislative changes that could usher a new era in climate reforms. So what exactly is COP? The Conference of the Parties, COP as it's called, is the supreme decision-making body of the United Nations framework for Convention on Climate Change. It is made of 196 member nations and came into force in 1994. They've met every once a year since then. This year, Glasgow will play host to this crucial meet from October 31st all the way to November 12th. Now, you must be wondering here, who are the stakeholders? Well, global leaders, negotiators, researchers and policy makers from more than 190 countries are set to come under one roof to tackle the challenge of climate change. The 4-point agenda ahead of COP26 will be: number 1, securing global net zero by mid-century and keeping 1.5 degrees Celsius within reach. Number 2, adapting to protect communities and natural habitats. Number 3, mobilizing finance of at least $100 billion in climate finance every year. And number 4, working together as a cohesive unit to avert climate crisis in the future. Now you must be wondering if this committee's assessment has paid dividends in the past. Well, it has. One of the major achievements of COP came in 1997 with the establishment of Kyoto Protocol, an international treaty aimed at reducing emissions of greenhouse gases in industrialized countries. In 2009, at the Copenhagen Summit, the aim of restricting global warming below 2 degrees Celsius was ratified. In 2015, following 20 years of negotiations, the Paris Agreement unanimously adopted to keep global warming below 2 degrees Celsius, above the pre-industrial period levels, and continue efforts to limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius. And now, in 2021, another event that could possibly be the game changer here. US President Joe Biden will be present at that summit. This year, Biden rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement. Remember, the United States broke away from the committee in 2019, a decision of predecessor Donald Trump, which drew massive criticism. Other global leaders in attendance would be Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, French President Emmanuel Macron, Canadian President Justin Trudeau, South Korean President Moon Jae-in, EU Representatives President Ursula von der Leyen, to name a few here. India, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is all set to attend the 26th Conference of the Parties in Glasgow. The move is crucial as Prime Minister Modi will outline the country's vision for tackling the looming threat of climate change at that summit. Two big names who will not be in attendance here is China's Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin. All eyes now will be on Glasgow from the end of the month, a landmark meet which could possibly find a roadmap to counter unprecedented events that we witnessed in 2021.